We've conquered the summit of Everest, explored the depths of the ocean, and even used AI to converse with ancient gods through stone carvings. So why are there still corners of Earth where no one is allowed to set foot? Some say it's to protect history. Others whisper that we're hiding something sinister. Let's explore 25 forbidden archaeological sites, places humans can only admire from afar or through documentaries and scientific studies, locations that are both mysterious and awe-inspiring. Showcasing the power of history, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on more fascinating videos. Gobekli Tepe, Turkey. Gobekli Tepe, located in southeastern Anatolia, Turkey, is one of the world's most significant archaeological sites. Discovered in 1994 by archaeologist Klaus Schmidt, built around 11,600 years ago during the pre-pottery Neolithic period, this complex features massive stone circles with T-shaped pillars over 19 feet tall, intricately carved. Not a settlement or burial site. It appears to be a religious center where hunter-gatherers gathered for worship, challenging our understanding of civilization's development. As societies back then were organized complexly before agriculture, artifacts include over 20 stone circles carved with animals like lions, foxes, boars, birds, and snakes, alongside abstract symbols of ancient beliefs. Only 5% has been excavated, revealing prehistoric art and a complex belief system possibly tied to ancestor worship or astronomy, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2018. Gobekli Tepe has reshaped our view of human history, proving ancient societies could build grand religious structures before settling and farming. Currently, Gobekli Tepe is heavily restricted to the public to protect it from tourism and weather damage. Only a small portion is open for distant viewing, with the core area reserved for archaeologists and researchers to prevent stone erosion and contamination from human breath, similar to prehistoric art caves. In 2025, excavations continue under strict Turkish government oversight at a slow pace for preservation. This keeps Gobekli Tepe an alluring mystery, reminding us of the historical gaps science is still filling. Ancient cave paintings. France. Ifisejingu shows how Japan protects sacredness by barring the public. Europe offers another example, where human curiosity inadvertently damaged heritage. The Lascaux cave in southern France is a natural art gallery created over 17,000 years ago. In 1940, 4 teenagers stumbled upon its entrance while searching for a lost dog, revealing hundreds of vivid paintings depicting bison, horses, and deer, masterpieces of the Stone Age. After its discovery, Lascaux became a cultural pilgrimage site, drawing thousands to admire the Mona Lisa of prehistoric times. But the influx of visitors quickly became a disaster. Human breath, body heat, humidity, and bacteria began degrading the pigments, causing paintings to fade and mold to spread. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to support more videos like this. To save the heritage, French authorities closed the cave completely in 1963, limiting access to a select few scientists. The public can only visit replicas Lascaux second, an IV crafted with high accuracy. No matter how precise, these are mere copies of the original masterpiece. A reminder that sometimes human curiosity is the greatest threat to heritage. Vatican Secret Archives. Vatican City. After sacred temples and sealed prehistoric caves, our journey takes us to the heart of Europe, Vatican City. Hidden beneath the Pope's palace lies one of the world's most enigmatic and intriguing repositories, the Vatican Secret Archives. This is the official archive of the Roman Curia, separate from the Vatican Library to ensure confidentiality and centralized management. As the Catholic Church's epicenter in European history, this archive is an invaluable source for studying religion, politics, and society across centuries. Spanning about 85 kilometers of shelves, it holds millions of documents, including Michelangelo's letters, Galileo Galilei's trial records, papal bulls, Inquisition documents, and other administrative manuscripts. It's one of the largest collections of original documents, reflecting key moments in European and Catholic history. Unlike public libraries, this archive is closed to the general public. Only a small group of Vatican-approved scholars can access it, and they must specify the exact documents they need, with no free browsing allowed. This protects the document's physical condition and controls information use and dissemination. Digitalization may reproduce some content, but the name Secret Archives still sparks curiosity. Are there secrets yet to be revealed? Tomb of Genghis Khan. Mongolia. Among the world's most mysterious royal tombs, Genghis Khan's in Mongolia is particularly enigmatic. After his death in 1227, his burial site is believed to be in the Burkhan Khaldun region of northeastern Mongolia. However, its exact location remains unconfirmed, partly because legend claims everyone involved in its construction was killed to ensure absolute secrecy. Hypotheses suggest the tomb may house a vast treasure of the Mongol Empire, including weapons, gold, silver, and royal artifacts. Yet, no official excavations have occurred due to technical challenges and cultural social factors, as Mongolians consider the site sacred, prohibiting digging to avoid disturbing ancestral spirits. The government has established a restricted zone to protect it from looting and unauthorized exploration. Despite modern technologies like ground-penetrating radar, the tomb remains untouched. Over 8 centuries later, Genghis Khan's resting place is still shrouded in mystery, a significant but strictly off-limits archaeological site, beyond the reach of the public and researchers. Mount Athos, Greece. When you think of ancient Greece, you might imagine Olympian gods and white marble temples. But there's a peninsula where women are never allowed Mount Athos. This monastic community, formed in the 9th century, includes 20 major monasteries, smaller convents, and hermitages. For over 1,000 years, it has been a key spiritual center for Eastern Orthodox Christianity, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site for its religious, cultural, and historical value. Don't miss out on more exciting videos. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Mount Athos preserves a rich heritage, from valuable Byzantine icons and ancient monastic architecture to rare manuscripts, including parts of the Codex Sinaiticus, one of the oldest surviving Bibles. These monasteries are both places of worship and global cultural religious archives, recognized by UNESCO. However, access is highly restricted. Women are completely banned from the peninsula. Even boats carrying women cannot approach within 500 meters of the shore. For men, entry requires special permits, typically granted to monks, religious scholars, or select pilgrims. These rules preserve the celibate lifestyle, maintain the secluded spiritual tradition, and protect the community from disruption. Thus, Mount Athos is one of humanity's most unique religious archaeological sites, inaccessible to half the world. Ancient city of Leptis, Magna, Libya. When you think of ancient Rome, the Colosseum or Italy's Grand Columns might come to mind. But beyond the Apennine Peninsula, the Roman Empire left stunning legacies in North Africa, like the ancient city of Leptis Magna on Libya's coast. Originally a Phoenician settlement from the 7th century BC, it thrived under Roman rule, especially during Emperor Septimius Severus's reign 193 to 211 AD. Leptis Magna was a prosperous city with grand structures like theaters, amphitheaters, markets, forums, and public baths. After centuries of wars, invasions, and decline, it was abandoned around 647, buried under desert sands. In the 1920s, Italian archaeologists began excavations, uncovering significant ruins and ancient sculptures, showcasing Roman North Africa's wealth and artistry. Today, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Leptis Magna is largely closed to international tourists due to Libya's political instability and conflicts. Access is limited to select research groups or specially permitted tours. Despite being one of the best preserved Roman cities outside Italy, it remains out of reach for most. Tomb of Qin Shi Huang, China. Back in Asia, one of the most prominent yet restricted archaeological sites lies in Xi'an, China. The tomb of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor to unify China in 221 BC. Built around 210 BC, this tomb complex is believed to replicate the ancient capital of Xianyang underground, with palaces, walls, rivers, and even defense mechanisms. It's most famous for the terracotta army, thousands of clay soldiers, horses, chariots, and weapons buried to protect the emperor in the afterlife. Discovered in 1974 by farmers digging a well, the excavated pits reveal one of the 20th century's greatest archaeological finds. However, the central burial chamber, believed to house the emperor's coffin and treasures, remains unexcavated. This isn't due to lack of interest, but the risk of irreversible damage. Ancient texts, like Sima Qian's records of the Grand Historian, describe rivers of mercury and complex traps inside. Early excavation could destroy artifacts upon air exposure or pose environmental risks. Current archaeological technology isn't advanced enough for safe exploration, so the main tomb remains sealed, one of the world's grandest yet inaccessible sites. Teotihuacan Pyramid, Mexico. When you think of pyramids, Egypt comes to mind, right? But across the ocean in Mexico, the Purépecha, a powerful civilization that rivaled the Aztecs, left equally majestic structures. At the ancient city of Zinzun, they built yacatas, unique crescent-shaped stone platforms, along with ceremonial plazas and possibly astronomical observatories. These aren't just ruins, but vivid evidence of the intellect and strength of a thriving Western Mexican empire. Subscribe now to explore more archaeological wonders. Today, parts like the Plaza de Armas are open to visitors, but most areas are sealed for preservation. Many structures remain unexcavated, and some have deteriorated significantly. In 2024, a pyramid partially collapsed after heavy rain, prompting stricter access limits to prevent further damage. This means visitors see only a fraction of the Purépecha legacy. The rest, with its unsolved mysteries, lies buried, awaiting advanced preservation technology. Chinese pyramids. Beyond Mexico's Yucatas or Egypt's pharaoh tombs, China has lesser-known pyramids. Near Xi'an, archaeologists have identified over 100 pyramid-like structures covered in earth and vegetation, mostly tombs of Han Dynasty emperors and nobles. The Maoling tomb, belonging to Emperor Wu of Han, one of ancient China's most powerful rulers, stands out. These man-made hills may look ordinary, but beneath could lie an untouched cultural treasure. Like Qin Shi Huang's tomb, these Chinese pyramids are believed to contain clay figures, weapons, jade, and royal artifacts. Yet, nearly all remain unexcavated, as current technology risks damaging structures or artifacts. Reports also cite erosion, pollution, and looting risks if opened. Additionally, disturbing imperial resting places is considered disrespectful in traditional beliefs, so the Chinese government bans excavations. Today, these pyramids sit quietly under earth and plants, visible on satellite images as artificial mounds. For the public, they can only be viewed from afar, remaining a great mystery until preservation technology advances. Chauvet Cave. France. They say we learn from past mistakes, and France has done just that. After the preservation disaster at Lascaux, where human breath damaged 17,000-year-old paintings, authorities took a stricter approach with Chauvet Cave, one of the world's most significant prehistoric art galleries. It holds over 400 drawings and engravings from over 36,000 years ago, twice as old as Lascaux. Due to their unique value and fragility, Chauvet is entirely closed to tourists. Only scientists and conservationists can enter under strict protocols to avoid damage from heat, humidity, or microbes. It may seem harsh, but it's the only way to prevent Chauvet from suffering Lascaux's fate. Poveglia Island, Italy, now to an island that sends chills down your spine just hearing its name. Poveglia Island began as a 7th century settlement, but gained infamy in the 18th century as a plague quarantine station, where over 160,000 victims were buried in mass graves. Later, from 1922 to 1968, it served as a mental hospital, tied to rumors of disturbing experiments and mysterious deaths. If you're enjoying this video, hit like and subscribe for more. Today, remnants like abandoned buildings, a church bell tower, Roman-era ruins, and overgrown mass graves remain. The island's complete ban isn't just due to its grim history. Derelict structures, environmental contamination, and tales of wandering spirits have led Italy to enforce strict closure. Poveglia isn't on any tourist itinerary. Unless you're a permitted researcher, you can only gaze from afar and imagine one of Europe's most haunting historical sites. Koguryo Tomb Complex, North Korea. Leaving Italy, we return to Asia, where North Korea exemplifies absolute seclusion. Among its lesser-known relics, the Koguryo Tomb Complex stands out for its scale and historical value. Built from the 3rd century BC to the 7th century AD, it was a power center of the Koguryo Kingdom. Over 10,000 tombs have been found, many royal and noble, adorned with vivid frescoes depicting daily life, religious rituals, battles, and astronomical elements, offering a rare glimpse into a civilization gone for over a millennium. Yet, its immense value makes it all the more mysterious and inaccessible. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, the complex is almost entirely closed to international tourists. North Korea tightly restricts access, allowing only select archaeologists under strict oversight. This is due to political factors and the need to preserve the fragile archaeological environment from tourism damage. Thus, the world knows the complex mostly through photos and academic records, while Koguryo's secrets remain buried, out of reach for those eager to explore. North Sentinel Island, India. Continuing our journey through Asia, we arrive at one of the planet's most untouchable places, North Sentinel Island, India. This is home to the Sentinelese, a primitive tribe that has existed for over 60,000 years, maintaining a Stone Age lifestyle with almost no contact with the modern world. The island holds unique ancient artifacts like stone tools, bows and arrows, and traces of a pristine hunter-gatherer culture. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the bell for new video notifications. Scientists and tourists can hardly approach, as every attempt at contact is met with fierce resistance from the tribe, including attacks to protect their territory. The reason India's government completely bans access to North Sentinel Island is to protect both the people and their culture. Any intrusion risks introducing modern diseases, threatening the survival of a community untouched by the outside world. At the same time, they aim to avoid conflict and preserve this unique culture in its original state. A prime example being the killing of a missionary in 2018. Thus, all observation must happen from afar, via satellite images or boats staying outside restricted waters, making North Sentinel Island a living mystery where the pristine past endures untouched amid the modern world. Pluto's Gate, Turkey. Leaving distant islands, we return to Turkey and a literal gate to the underworld. Pluto's Gate, in the ancient city of Hierapolis, built in the 2nd century BC, was dedicated to the Roman god Pluto. Initially a solemn cave called the Plutonium, adorned with statues and temples, it became a deadly phenomenon. Why? Toxic natural gases emanating from the cave are lethal. Discovered in 2013, scientists confirmed it as a true gate to hell after observing animals, from birds to mammals, dying upon entering. Turkey's government bans close access, allowing only distant observation. Despite its archaeological and mythological allure, you'd better keep your distance unless you want to meet Pluto literally. Ise Grand Shrine, Ise Jingu, Japan. Starting with a Japanese shrine, you can't enter unless you're Japanese royalty or a high priest. Ise Jingu, the holiest site in Shinto, is dedicated to the sun goddess Amaterasu, making it Japan's most sacred and symbolic shrine. With a history spanning over 2 millennia, it's believed to date back to the 4th century BC. A key milestone began in 690 AD. Every 20 years, the entire shrine is rebuilt, reflecting Shinto beliefs in death and rebirth, while preserving ancient wooden construction techniques without nails. The inner sanctuary reportedly houses the Yatano Kagami, a sacred mirror, one of Japan's 3 imperial treasures, symbolizing Amaterasu and the emperor's authority. But for the public, viewing is limited to peeking through wooden fences. This mystery and restriction make Ise Jingu a unique blend of religion, history, and Japanese cultural identity. Batavia shipwreck, Australia. Imagine diving in Western Australia's clear waters, and stumbling upon a 17th century shipwreck, a vessel tied to a tragedy where over 100 people were killed on Beacon Island as survivors desperately awaited rescue. Chilling, right? If the Batavia shipwreck intrigues you, comment below about historical tragedies you'd like to explore next. Over 100 passengers died instantly in the wreck, but the real tragedy unfolded on Beacon Island, where starvation and dehydration fueled chaos. As Commander Pelsert sought rescue, second-in-command Geronimus Cornelis led a bloody mutiny, killing over 100 to secure power. When rescue arrived months later, Cornelis and his accomplices were tried and executed on site. Centuries later, in 1963, archaeologists located the wreck, piecing together this grim tale through remains and artifacts on Beacon Island. Today, the Batavia site is tightly protected, with no free diving or access allowed. However, artifacts and ship parts are displayed at the Western Australian Museum, recounting a dramatic chapter in maritime history. Ggantija Temples, Malta. Next is the Ggantija Temples in Malta, a stunning testament to prehistoric human ingenuity. On Gozo Island, built between 3600 and 3200 BC, these are among the world's oldest Neolithic temples. Predating Egypt's pyramids, massive stones, up to 5 meters tall and weighing tons, are arranged with precision that still amazes archaeologists. Artifacts include fertility goddess statues, stone tools, carvings, and unique circular walls, revealing the spiritual and cultural life of Neolithic people. However, not all areas are open. Erosion from weather and tourism has led UNESCO to restrict access. Some temple sections are permanently closed, accessible only with special tickets or research permits. Bhangarh Fort, India. This site sends shivers down the spine. Bhangarh Fort, India, infamous for ghostly tales that deter even the bravest visitors. Unlike sites restricted for safety or politics, Bhangarh's limits stem from legends and superstitions. Built in the 16th century by Raja Madho Singh, legend says Princess Ratnavati fell victim to a dark curse from a powerful sorcerer. Though she defeated him, the curse lingered, causing the fort's partial ruin and harboring restless spirits. Subscribe to join us in exploring more archaeological mysteries. Locals claim footsteps, whispers, and eerie screams echo from abandoned buildings after sunset. India's government bans nighttime visits for safety and to prevent unsettling incidents. Bhangarh is not just a testament to Rajput history and architecture, but one of the world's most mysterious archaeological sites, where ghostly tales keep people at a distance. Tel Qaramel, Syria. Our journey continues to Tel Qaramel, Syria, a village that could reshape our view of early human history. Dating to 10,900 BC, it features the world's oldest stone towers, evidence of proto-Neolithic techniques and beliefs. Artifacts like towers, hearths, pre-pottery, stone tools, and burials reveal early human life and culture. However, only archaeologists can access it. Syria's civil war since 2011, combined with looting and conflict, makes Tel Qaramel highly dangerous. Authorities allow only guarded scientific work to protect the fragile relics. Sadly, this key evidence of humanity's dawn risks being forgotten, highlighting the vulnerability of heritage amid modern challenges. Nazca Lines. Peru. If you've ever been captivated by giant desert drawings, then the Nazca lines in Peru will leave you speechless with awe. From the ground, these sprawling lines seem quite ordinary, but when viewed from above, you truly realize their grandeur. First discovered by pilots flying over the area, these massive shapes were actually created over 2,000 years ago by the pre-Inca Nazca people by scraping away red pebbles to reveal the lighter soil beneath. Some theories even suggest they could be alien landing strips. However, modern science explains that they served ritual or religious purposes for the Nazca through hundreds of enormous drawings, from intricate geometric shapes to animals, plants, and mythical beings. It's as if the earth is flaunting its own tattoos. However, visitors are not allowed to walk near these lines. The reason is that the desert's surface is extremely fragile. Just a few footprints could ruin the perfect designs of the ancients. Thus, the only way to fully appreciate them is from the air, preserving this heritage while offering a spectacular experience. This is a prime example of archaeological preservation, combined with a unique viewing experience, allowing you to marvel at prehistoric ingenuity while keeping the pristine beauty of the Nazca Desert intact. Eridu Tel Abu Sharain, Iraq, considered the cradle of human civilization. Eridu Tel Abu Sharain in Iraq is the oldest Sumerian city, founded around 5400 BC, where, according to mythology, all Mesopotamian civilizations originated. The scene here is overwhelming. Ancient ziggurats, millennia-old mud bricks, and early urban remnants silently tell the story of a glorious lost civilization. Each layer of sediment, each brick preserves traces of ancient beliefs, customs, and life, like a living time museum beneath the desert. Not everyone gets the chance to set foot in Eridu. Ongoing conflicts in Iraq, threats from insurgents, and security risks have made this ancient city a strictly restricted site. Only courageous archaeologists under special protection can access it, while most of the world must rely on books, images, and documentaries. Eridu lies quietly, awaiting a day of peace to once again share its legendary tale as the cradle of Sumerian civilization. What do you think of this city? Does it live up to its name as the cradle of human civilization? Let me know in the comments. Cliff tombs of Peru. Ever heard of tombs suspended on cliffs? In Peru's Andes, Los Pinchudos, the final resting place of the ancient Chachapoya, showcases this unusual burial practice. Instead of underground graves, warriors were placed in wooden coffins on sheer cliffs, painted red, yellow, black, and white, with unique carvings reflecting their beliefs and culture. The entire area is now closed. Harsh weather and past curious visitors have damaged these fragile structures. The only way to see these cliff tombs and their intricate designs is through museums or documentaries, making them one of the world's most mysterious and inaccessible sites. Potok Cave, Slovenia. Hidden deep within Slovenia, Potok Cave is like a locked time machine, transporting us back 35,000 years. It was once a hunting station for the Aurignacian people, who left traces of their existence thousands of years ago: animal bones, stone tools, fire marks, and vivid rock carvings on the cave walls, evidence of an ancient life hard to imagine. However, Potok Cave does not welcome visitors. The cave is extremely fragile and prone to collapse, and even human breath could destroy its ancient artifacts. Only archaeologists with research purposes are permitted to enter, while the rest of us can only admire this living prehistoric museum through images and documentaries, preserving its complete mystique. Altamira Cave, Spain. Altamira Cave in Cantabria, northern Spain, once housed vibrant prehistoric art galleries that astonished the world. However, setting foot in the cave now is nearly unthinkable. In 2002, scientists realized that human breath, particularly carbon dioxide, was damaging these ancient masterpieces. Green mold began spreading across the walls, threatening to erase a heritage that has endured for thousands of years. A trial reopening took place in 2014, when the cave was briefly accessible under strict conditions. Only 5 randomly selected people were allowed inside, each for just 37 minutes before the doors were locked again. Afterward, all further reopening plans were cancelled, and Spain's Ministry of Culture declared the cave permanently closed. This decision underscores the reality that modern humans and ancient masterpieces are incompatible. Altamira Cave stands as a testament to the value and fragility of humanity's heritage. Al-Naslaa rock formation, Saudi Arabia. Finally, a rock that makes you wonder if aliens were involved. Al-Naslaa, a sandstone block with a perfectly vertical split, and petroglyphs from around 2000 BC depicting animals and ancient symbols, stands silently in the vast Tepe desert. Despite its beauty, captivating many curious visitors. Access to Al-Naslaa is extremely restricted. Its remote location, regional instability, and risks of erosion and vandalism have led the Saudi government to completely seal off the site. Only specially permitted caravans have the chance to visit. For most of us, Al-Naslaa remains a stunning enigma in the desert, a reminder of ancient wonders preserved by nature and history through millennia.